Jesus stood before Pilate, the governor, who asked him,
"Are you the king of the Jews?"
Jesus answered.
Yes, that is right.
Then, when the leading priests and the older Jewish leaders made their accusations against Jesus, he said nothing. So Pilate said to him,
"Don't you hear all these charges they are making against you? Why don't you answer?"
But Jesus did not say anything, and this really surprised the governor. Every year at Passover time, the governor would free one prisoner, whichever one the people wanted him to free. At that time there was a man in prison who was known to be very bad. His name was Barabbas. When a crowd gathered, Pilate said to them,
"I will free one man for you. Which one do you want me to free, Barabbas or Jesus, who is called the Messiah?"
Pilate knew that they had handed Jesus over to him because they were jealous of him. The leading priests and older Jewish leaders told the people to ask for Barabbas to be set free and for Jesus to be killed. Pilate said,
"I have Barabbas and Jesus. Which one do you want me to set free for you?"
The people answered,
Barabbas!
Pilate asked.
"So what should I do with Jesus, the one called the Messiah?"
All the people said,
Crucify him!
Pilate asked.
"Why do you want me to kill him? What wrong has he done?"
But they shouted all the louder,
Crucify him!
Pilate saw that there was nothing he could do to make the people change. In fact, it looked as if there'd be a riot. So he took some water and washed his hands in front of them all. He said,
"I am not guilty of this man's death. You are the ones who are doing it."
Then Pilate set Barabbas free, and he told some of the soldiers to beat Jesus with whips. Then he handed him over to the soldiers to be killed on a cross. They were led to a place called the Skull. There the soldiers nailed Jesus to the cross. They also nailed the criminals to crosses beside Jesus, one on the right and the other on the left. Jesus said,
Father, forgive them. They don't know what they are doing.
The soldiers threw dice to divide Jesus' clothing between them. The people stood there watching everything. The Jewish leaders laughed at Jesus. They said,
"If he is God's chosen one, the Messiah, then let him save himself. He saved others, didn't he?"
Even the soldiers laughed at Jesus and made fun of him. They came and offered him some sour wine. They said,
"If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself."
At the top of the cross these words were written, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals hanging there began to shout insults at Jesus. "Aren't you the Messiah? Then save yourself and save us too." But the other criminal stopped him. He said,
"You should fear God. All of us will die soon. You and I are guilty. We deserve to die because we did wrong, but this man has done nothing wrong."
Then he said,
"Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom."
and Jesus said to him,
I promise you, today you will be with me in paradise.
It was about noon, but it turned dark throughout the land until 3 o'clock in the afternoon because the sun stopped shining. The curtain of the temple was torn in 2 pieces. Jesus shouted.
Father, I put my life into your hands.
After Jesus had said this, he died. The army officer there saw what happened. He praised God, saying,
"I know this man was a good man."